So this camp is really about getting kids to be able to find out who they are through the arts. And how we go about doing that is really having them engage in an array of art, right? So they're doing theater, they're learning to sing, they're learning how to collaborate even through that. And through all of these different vehicles of artistry, they're able to figure out kind of who they are and be able to build that confidence amongst community. They have to put on a production at the end of the camp. And so one of the biggest things that we try to build them into is having an emotional intelligence, being able to collaborate with their friends, being able to articulate, right, their needs and so forth, and also taking a leadership stance, right? Are you leading, a specific aspect of the class? Are you taking initiative? All of these skills are really important. These kind of soft skills that I believe often kind of go unnoticed or not super focused on, but are actually really important for kids to go into the world with.
It is a place for students to really stretch and grow themselves. And so throughout the day, there is tons of intensive structured time where they're learning certain disciplines related to the performing arts. We are targeting families that need support. And so when we get students who are dealing with a lot at home and don't know how to process all of that, and then have some sort of situation at camp where they don't really know how to engage with another student, I think in certain systems, they are deemed a bad kid, they're misbehaving, they don't listen, let's kick them out. No. That's not what we want to do. This is an environment where we want them to grow, where we're stretching them. And so the pedagogy around the entire academy it starts with the social emotional learning.
Young people most of the time are considered as our future, but the truth of it, they're also our present, because this present is what is going to determine what the future is going to produce. So the social emotional learning is very important for them to be able to regulate their emotions, to regulate the environments that they're in. I have kids who came in at the beginning and they were like very shy to like come out and do something. And now I'm seeing them like in theater, they're the ones with the mic on, like they're ready to give out their little act. And then I have kids who have had their own traumas coming from the outside and they came with them. And at first they didn't even know how to deal with it. And then now they're kind of like the ones advocating for others.
Roots is really centered around leadership and kind of like having the kids like see leadership firsthand, like through the interns and through the older kids. I remember week one, a lot of the kids were kind of shy, not really wanting to dance, of course, in front of a bunch of people. But towards the second week, when they saw like some of the interns dancing with them and like the older kids really getting into it, that's when their like confidence like kind of started to shine through.
I have 3 daughters and they are 14, 13, and 12. Every day they come home with lots of stories about dancing, arts and crafts, and making new friends and just interacting with all the other children here.
We've been learning like self-esteem, mental health, and like how to like be nice to other people and yourself. I like how nice the people are, and it's just a very like good camp.
Yeah, it just helps you learn to be yourself. Like you don't really have to change for anybody else. It boosts your confidence a lot more. Like not trying to be like any type of way, but just being around more Black people, because I go to a predominantly white school, but being around more Black people just makes me feel more comfortable, because it's like I can just really be myself. I don't have to change.
This is probably the best camp I've ever been to. It's so fun, and it's a good opportunity to just get exposed to new and different things. And all of the dance and all of this, I'm gonna go back to school way more confident in who I am and feeling like I don't have to be a follower. I can be a leader without having to feel uncomfortable about being myself.
I can trust that my kid is going to be safe with them throughout the time that he's here.
One of the biggest things that has allowed Roots to be so successful is our partnerships and the people that have supported us, right? The students, last week were able to go to Decker and be able to use AI. So digital literacy and knowing that they can step into spaces maybe that they've never even experienced before, right? An architect firm at the age of, 8 or 12 years old. To see that confidence in the kids develop, I think is huge.
It's ultimately a place for them to learn about other people, recognize that differences matter, are important, and that even though there are differences, there can be unity. And so I think the culminating performance, the Harambe celebration, is like a prime example of how differences create unity.